Do you ever find yourself lying awake in the middle of the night, perhaps around 3 a.m., and wonder, why now? The silence of the world around you can feel both soothing and unsettling as you stare at the ceiling, trying to understand what's shifted in your body or your mind. If this sounds familiar, let me assure you, you're not alone. Waking up during those early morning hours is incredibly common, especially as we grow older. But here's the thing, it's not just a random quirk of aging or something wrong with you. It's your body and even your heart trying to tell you something. Today, we're going to explore this phenomenon together, not just to understand it, but to embrace it with compassion and wisdom. Let's begin by talking about something that affects every single one of us over time: the natural ebb and flow of hormones, specifically melatonin. You've probably heard of melatonin before. It's often called the sleep hormone. In our younger years, our bodies produce it steadily each evening, keeping us tucked into deep, restful sleep through the night. But as we age, melatonin production naturally decreases. It's not something you're doing wrong. It's simply part of the aging process. So by the time 3 a.m. rolls around, that hormone reservoir has likely dipped too low to keep you sound asleep. That's often why you find yourself wide awake, feeling more alert than you'd like. But there's good news, my friend. Once you understand this, you can start making small changes to work with your body instead of feeling frustrated by it. For example, keeping your bedroom as dark as possible can make a world of difference. Even the faintest light, like a street lamp sneaking through the curtains or a blinking clock, can disrupt melatonin production. Another tip? Avoid screens, including your phone or television, at least an hour before bed. Harold, a listener who shared his story with me, found that an evening walk and dimming the lights in his home helped reinforce his body's natural rhythm. Simple adjustments, but they helped him find a deeper rest. And remember, this isn't about fixing sleep. It's about adapting and showing your body the patience it deserves. Now, let's talk about another reason for those restless early morning wake-ups, a concept called the advanced sleep phase. Doesn't that sound official? In simple terms, it means that over time, our internal clocks tend to shift earlier. You may have noticed that you feel sleepy earlier in the evening, perhaps nodding off in your favorite chair before the late-night news is even over. And because you're going to bed earlier, you're naturally waking up earlier too. By 3 a.m., your body might already feel like it's had its full night of sleep, even if it's still dark outside. This isn't a sign that your sleep is broken. It's your body operating on a new schedule, one that's perfectly normal. Take Charles, for instance. At 68 years old and newly retired, he found himself waking up before dawn more often than not. At first, he thought something was wrong, until he learned about this natural shift in sleep cycles. Once he understood, he made small tweaks to his routine. He started staying up a bit later by reading or calling his daughter in the evenings. These small adjustments stretched his sleep window closer to sunrise, helping him feel more rested and aligned with his daily life. It's a reminder that we can support our body's transitions by understanding them, and by listening instead of pushing against their rhythms. Of course, There's another layer to waking up at 3 a.m. that's less about hormones or rhythms and more about physical health. As we age, our bodies can feel more discomfort, whether it's arthritis, acid reflux, or even the simple need to use the bathroom more frequently. These physical interruptions can nudge us out of a peaceful sleep. And sometimes, even small changes, like the timing of a meal or the side effects of medication, can play a role. Let me introduce you to Eleanor. At 76, she started noticing she'd wake up every night around 3:30 a.m. At first, she chalked it up to getting older. But after speaking with her doctor, she realized that one of her blood pressure medications was causing her to wake up needing the bathroom more frequently. By adjusting the timing of her medication and staying mindful of her hydration in the evenings, Eleanor found herself waking less often, and when she did, she could fall back asleep more easily. These are the kinds of insights that come not from fighting your body, but from tuning in, seeking guidance, and making thoughtful changes. And while we're speaking of habits, let's not underestimate how much our daily routines shape our sleep patterns. Think about how your evenings look now compared to years ago. Maybe you eat dinner earlier, or spend quieter evenings at home, which is common for many older adults. These softer, gentler routines can naturally nudge your internal clock forward, signaling to your body that it's time to wind down earlier in the evening. Walter, a longtime listener, came to this realization after he retired. Without the structure of a busy work schedule, his body started adapting to a quieter rhythm, pulling his bedtime earlier and earlier. Small lifestyle changes, like taking an afternoon walk or enjoying an engaging book in the evening, helped keep his body more aligned with his desired sleep schedule. But let's take a moment to pivot, because there's something else we need to consider. Something not about the body, but about the heart. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't always physical. Often, it's emotional. You see, as we grow older, the busyness of life quiets down. There's more room for reflection, and sometimes that can stir feelings we didn't even know were still there. Old memories, unresolved questions, or just a quiet yearning for connection. In the stillness of the night, our minds can become a little louder, replaying moments or asking questions we haven't thought about in years. This reminds me of Gloria, an 80-year-old woman I deeply admire. She lost her husband a few years ago and finds the nights the hardest. At 3 a.m., she sometimes wakes thinking about their life together, both the joys and the sorrows. Instead of pushing the thoughts away, Gloria decided to honor them. She began keeping a small journal by her bedside where she would write a few sentences about what she was feeling. Over time, this gentle act of reflection helped calm her mind, helping her fall back asleep with a sense of peace rather than restlessness. I think there's a beautiful lesson there, don't you? Instead of seeing those sleepless hours as something to fix, we can view them as an opportunity. What is your mind trying to tell you? What might your heart be asking for? These moments can remind us of the fullness of the lives we've lived, the relationships, the decisions, the experiences, and offer us the chance to meet them with kindness instead of frustration. So, if you find yourself awake tonight, staring at the ceiling, I hope these words come back to you. Be gentle with yourself. Your body and mind are not broken. They're just changing, evolving as you move through this stage of life. Listen to what they're telling you. Make small, thoughtful changes if needed. A darker bedroom, a later bedtime, an evening walk. And most importantly, treat yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a dear friend. Thank you for spending this time with me today. You're never alone on this journey. There's a whole community of us navigating the same questions, the same challenges, and the same joys. If something resonated with you, feel free to send a little note or share your thoughts. Until next time, take care of yourself, sleep well, and know that you are deeply valued in this world.